Hey guys, Jen here. Welcome to Dream Life or Bust. Today is episode 2. So today I wanted to just talk about when no one else sees the vision except you. So this is something I've been struggling with a lot lately as I've sort of been going bigger with my dream vision and exactly what I'm wanting for my writing life and for my actual life. And there are a lot of naysayers, especially in my family, people who are related to me who think I'm insane, especially my mother. She thinks I'm insane. She's always thought that, but I feel like now she thinks it even more. She actually tonight was like, oh, giving me this attitude about when I was talking about like the place I want to live and all this stuff I want to do. And, you know, she's giving me an attitude about like, oh, I didn't know you had all this money, or I didn't know you had this, and it's like, okay, I get it. I'm not a millionaire right now. I'm talking about things that maybe a millionaire would have to have the money for. But the thing is, I still don't care. Like, that's the thing that drives me crazy, though, sometimes, is that people a lot of times will allow the people around them to just give them, sort of plant these ideas in their head and these negative thoughts in their head when they're not actually there yet. So, like, for me, I see the vision for my writing life and for what I want just really, really clear, but it's not actually happening yet. So it's not physically in my reality yet, but it's in my head. I see it. I know it's real. I know it's going to happen at some point. But because it's not actually physically in my reality yet, it's very hard for all the people around me to believe it. And so I think this happens a lot with creative people, especially in the early stages of your journey when you're not actually having the result yet, or you don't have the reality of this is the dream life that you want. You know, you're not actually seeing it yet. In the physical reality, there's the people around you trying to tell you that you're crazy, or, you know, giving you a hard time about it. And so I think it's really important to realize that, number one, no one is ever going to see the vision like you do. No one's ever going to see it until it's real, until it's actually in your reality and people can physically see it. They're not going to get on board with it. So you have to just know that in the beginning stages, you are going to have the vision, and you're going to have to stick with it and feel like, even when people are naysaying around you and just making comments and sort of joking about stuff, like, you have to just trust in that vision and continue to stay focused on it, and realize that in the beginning, you are always going to be the only one that sees it, and everybody else around you is just going to think you're crazy. But it's not a problem, as long as you don't let their voices and their negativity and their naysaying get in your way, or sort of get you down or pull you away from that vision. You have to just be really clear on it, and then, of course, work on your mindset every day so that that vision just becomes stronger and stronger, and you're not allowing the opinions of other people to sort of come in and just like get in your way and take over. Because I feel like for a long time I did that. I let other people tell me how I should live, or what I should want, or how it should be. And that's that problem, because when you see the vision, you have to just sort of stick with it and not let them talk you out of it. And so for me, the best thing that helps me with when I'm around people who don't see the vision, or who aren't willing to see the vision with me, and I think unfortunately that happens a lot with our families, our close friends sometimes, people who aren't, you know, they don't think like we do, or they don't have that bigger dream. And so it's very easy for them to try to shut you down, because they're not living their dream, so they can't see the vision for themselves. And so for them to see it for you just feels crazy. And so when I'm in situations where, like, I'm around people who can't see my vision, they sort of just think I'm crazy still, I just don't talk about it. That's the first thing. Like, I feel like sometimes, like, yeah, you do have to be who you are, and you have to speak your mind and share what's true for you. But at the same time, if you're around people who are just going to tear you down and naysay and just plant negative thoughts in your head, you're better off not talking about that stuff and not sharing it with them. Even though it sucks, because you're like, well, it's my family, I want to share with them. But if they can't get on board with it, and they're just going to keep trying to talk you out of it or try to stop you, then it's just going to cause a problem for you. So the best way is to just not talk about it with them, not tell them about it. Keep as sort of quiet on it as you can. If they say, how's it going? You can just say, oh, it's going fine, and not even give them any more detail than that, because you know that if you just start, because I try to do that tonight. So this is why I'm talking about this, because I had my family girls night. We do this, you know, once a week. I don't always join in on it, but it happens, you know, pretty frequently. And I was talking about my move to Austin, and just, you know, the bigger vision that I have for my writing life and all this stuff. And, you know, my mom started joking and making jokes and cracks about my belief in manifestation, and the fact that I believe that I can just create what I need when I need it. I was like saying, oh, well, I felt like if we just move next month, like, the money will just show up because it has to. And I just believed that. And my mom's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to go to sleep tonight and believe that I'm going to wake up and be 120 pounds tomorrow, and blah, blah, blah. And then my aunt jumped in and started saying something like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep tonight and wake up a millionaire tomorrow. And so, like, I know they're making fun of the fact that they don't understand how manifestation works and they don't have that mindset. And so it's really easy for me. So, like, I used to get really upset about that and try to, like, prove them wrong and try to, like, tell them how it is. And now I just ignore it. Like, I literally just ignore it, even though it can be hard sometimes. But I just realize they don't see the vision. They don't understand how it works, and they're not willing or open-minded enough to understand it. So I have to just stop trying to force it into them, because it's just going to make more frustration for me and just make me feel bad and make me have that negative mindset, which I don't want. So it's easier, and I know it sucks, like I said, because sometimes you just want to talk about it with everybody, but sometimes you just have to sort of pick and choose the people who you talk about this with until it's more real. So once you start to see stuff happening in your life, so, you start getting the book out there, or you hit the bestseller list, or you sell 10,000 copies, or whatever you do, that whatever goal that you have, once that happens, all the people around you are going to get on board and they're going to be supportive. But until they can physically see it, they're not going to see it in their heads like you see it in yours. And so that's why I think sometimes it is important to just not even talk to them about it, not tell them about it, and not share it with them. But make sure you do have someone that you can share it with. So find somebody who is like-minded, who thinks like you do, who has similar dreams, or who at least dreams big, and then actually allow that person to be your support system. So I have several accountability buddies that I check in with who have, they think like I do. They're all entrepreneurs. They've got big dreams. And just like I do, they see their own vision, which again is more in their head than anything else right now, but they're working toward it and they know it's going to happen, just like I know it's going to happen for me and for them as well. So sometimes that's the best thing. Don't talk to people who don't see it, and then talk to the people who can see it. And really, those are the people you want to share that stuff with and share the dreams with. And everybody else, just keep quiet about it. And yeah, be who you are, but also sometimes you have to just, not share certain things with certain people, because it's just going to make it harder for you. And I just find if I'm not allowing them to plant the negativity in my head because I'm talking about stuff that they can't get behind, then it's just easier to keep going, because I don't feel stressed out about the fact that they're now planting all these negative thoughts in my head. Hey, Kimberly, how are you? You'll prove your point after your vision starts happening. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I like to see, is that in the beginning, you're going to always be the only person who sees it. And I will say most of the time people tell me I'm crazy. They tell me I'm insane. Like, where do you think you're going to get that kind of money? Or where do you think you're going to, be able to do that thing or whatever? I don't care, because I just trust in the vision, and I just trust that I know myself, and I know how much action that I take, and I know that I'm not somebody who gives up. And so I know even if it doesn't happen overnight, which obviously it won't, it will eventually happen if I keep going. And then, of course, they'll all get on board, and they'll, be looking back and thinking about the time where they were making fun of it and not realizing that, oh, it was going to happen. But, that's just what I wanted to say right now, is just if you are feeling a little bit like stressed out because people around you aren't on board with your vision, or you're feeling like you have this big dream that you want, but you're afraid to go after it because everyone around you doesn't see it, or feels like you shouldn't, or they never went after their dreams, so why should you go after yours, or whatever. Just know that there are people out there who think like you do. If you want to be part of a community like that, definitely check out my free Facebook group, the 1% Writers Club, because that group is all a bunch of people who actually have big dreams for their writing and want to actually make it happen and believe that they can. So we all have very similar ways of thinking, and it's a very supportive environment where you can share your dreams and you can be who you are and not worry about people telling you that it's not going to happen, or it's a pipe dream, or any of that stuff, which I think, a lot of the times that's what we hear from people who don't see the vision. So that is all I wanted to say right now. I was a little bit frustrated by the comments that I received from my family earlier, but I'm used to it, because that's usually what they say to me when I talk about the big dream stuff. So I'm used to it, and that's why I've started to sort of just not talk about it that much, because that helps me to not allow the negativity to get to me. Because obviously when you are building a big vision and it's not actually physically manifested yet, that's when you have to be so strong with your mindset and just so focused on the vision of like, this is what's going to happen, and just have blinders on to everything else, like not even looking at the other stuff. It's just keep the eye on the ball, keep going, because that's really what it's going to take, and that's how you're going to get there. So that was all I had for you tonight. This is sort of a late one that I've done, so I'm definitely going to wrap this up, because I'm going to actually go get some work done before I go to bed in a little while. So if you want to be part of my community, be sure to check out my free Facebook group, the 1% Writers Club, because we are a group of like-minded people who will support your dream and who will, be there with you to see the vision, because we all see it for ourselves as well. So you can go to facebook.com/groups/emerging author incubator. That was the old name, but if you just go to Facebook search and type in 1% Writers Club, it will come right up. So be sure to check that out, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Bye.